What's up, y'all? It's your boy ClarenceNyc. Welcome back to my reaction channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you show some love, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button. All of the above. Just show love. But today, last night I was way too smacked to do this. I didn't even know there was a part two. Yesterday I did part one. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Um, But yeah, this is Latoya. Why did I get a divorce part two? Let's get right into it. It's a long video. I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get it.
What was the breaking point for you that caused you to say, I'm packing my stuff and I'm moving out today?
The pandemic has really opened my eyes to my relationship and what I've endured all of these years, and also living in Atlanta and not having family by my side and only having him to depend on has really opened my eyes to him not really being there for me, you know? I believe that he was just here for obviously our children and because, financial gain. And the breaking point for me is when I, brought up wanting to get a divorce again. Obviously, he tried to use his tactics. We've built a whole life together. We have 3 beautiful children. Don't do this to the family. You're
So
gonna
she is the
hurt
one that
the
asked for the
children.
divorce.
But I feel like as a woman and as a mother, my happiness comes first, because if I'm not happy, my whole life will crumble. And that is exactly what was happening to me. I was going through depression, low self-esteem. I remember some days I couldn't even get out of bed because I was just so depressed. I couldn't even be a good mom to my kids. Like, I had to let Adam take the lead in that department because I would always, get so frustrated and irritated. And I was also going through postpartum depression with Aya, and I still have it up to this day. I'm still struggling with it.
Why did you and your family move to Atlanta?
So we were living in Canada, and
Yo,
I feel
I
like
can't
our
believe there's a
business
part two
kind of
to this though.
plateaued. Like, we weren't growing. And so I thought moving to the US would be the best place for us to be, to just maximize our brand. And so we made this decision together to move to Atlanta. At first, he had reservations about moving, but he eventually hopped on board and we moved to Atlanta to, continue chasing our dreams. And my goal, and so we made this decision together to move to Atlanta. At first, he had reservations about moving,
He had reservations about moving.
but he and so we made this decision together to move to Atlanta. At first, he had reservations about moving, but he eventually hopped on board and we moved to Atlanta to, continue chasing our dreams. And my goal was to be on television, and he knew that from day one, and he supported that. So I thought,
At what point did you find out that he didn't support that anymore?
when
I
I
think it's like a mic is outside.
since I stepped out of the marriage, after I moved to Atlanta, that was more of a downward spiral in our marriage. But we got past that, he stayed. Um, and then the producers actually called us and they wanted us to interview. And we both sat down, we both interviewed for the show. We were both excited about it. He was more excited for me because he always knew that it was a dream of mine to be on television, and he supported me. But when I introduced divorce again, because truthfully, I was just not happy. Like, I did not want to continue in a relationship and not be happy. I was so tired of just being depressed all day. I was just tired of being tired and drained from working overtime and wearing all of these hats, like carrying my whole family on my back. I was like, I just need to be free from this. And I expressed that to him. And after I expressed that, he was like, you know what? Go ahead. Let's just get the divorce, right? They were in my ear. They were like, just try to work it out. You guys can try to get therapy. Like, you guys don't have to do this. And so Adam and I, we went back to the drawing board, and I was like, you know what? Let's just drop the divorce. So we dropped it. And then again, I went back to him. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I can't fake the funk anymore. I just can't fake it. I can't do this, So I was battling. And on top of it, he then filed for the divorce this time around. So he gave me what I truly wanted. But at the last hour, I said, you know what? Let's try to work this out. Let's see if we can, grow together, build together, rebuild what we crashed and burned, and just try to fix it, and be a team. But I have to be truthful with myself. The only reason why I said those things is so that he could be on the show with me. So he dropped the divorce. And then I filed for the divorce. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be in an unhappy marriage, in an unhappy relationship because of a show. What's meant for me, what I will get, And if this show is meant for me, it will be. I called like my whole family all my family members, my dad. They would all try to get through to him, and Adam was just not having it at all. Like, this girl wants a divorce. I'm not going to give her what she wants, like basically blocking God's blessings for my life, because he knew that that was my dream, to be on TV. And so I called my cousin.
I'm not gonna.
And honestly, like,
Cause how did he block you if that's what you wanted? Like, all right, so he filed for the divorce. You lied and said, like, nah, let's work things out so you could be on the show, and then now you want a divorce. Just a little confused.
my cousin is probably the only person that could ever get through to anybody. So my cousin came down to try to convince Adam to sign off on the papers. And Adam gave me an ultimatum. He said, you're going to give me full custody of the children. Well, full custody of Zayn and Samia for 1 year. And you're going to have to pay me. There's no way that I would ever give you full custody of my children for a freaking television show at all. So that went through the roof. So my cousin really tried to convince Adam, this is a legacy not for only LaToya, but for the children, for you, for all of the business endeavors that you're on. You can take your business to the next level. This is an opportunity for you to thrive as a family. Although, you guys are going your separate ways, this is the time where you guys can, skyrocket. And Adam was like, I'm not going to sell my soul to be on no television show. I don't care about money. And it's like, dude, you come from the slums, like all of us. What do you mean you don't care about legacy building? What are you talking about? You don't care about making money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is a life-changing opportunity, not only for me, for all of us. He got angry to the point where Adam put a restraining order against me. And I had to leave the house with Aya because in the court order it said Latoya, has to leave the house, and because he's fearful for his life. Because at this point, I did put a GPS tracking device on his car because I felt like I wanted to know where you were at, what you were doing, so I had something on you to use in court. I purchased the gun for protection from outside because I don't know if you guys have Ring, but around our area, they always had like people breaking in, burglaries, robberies, you name it. And I said, you know what, Adam, we need to get a gun. I even showed him the gun. I said, Adam, I purchased the gun and this is for the protection of our family, is what I said,
But you're trying to get a divorce.
And so it's not like I hid the fact that I had a gun. I showed him the gun the day that I purchased it. And he was like, the next day he was like, I'm calling the police. I'm like, okay, why? He was like, because you bought a gun illegally. I'm like, no, I went to the store and I had to go through all this documentation. It took weeks for me to actually go and pick up the gun because I'm a permanent resident of the United States of America. So it took some time for them to, run my history, my background checks, see if I have a criminal record. I'm 100% clean. And when they went through that process, I was able to pick up the gun that I purchased. And I told him that. And so he thought that you needed a gun license. You need a gun license to actually physically carry your gun outside. You don't need a gun license to have a gun in your home. And so I explained that to him and he said, okay. He knew where the gun was and everything. It's not like I tried to hide this gun from him. I said, listen, we've been in America for all these years and you still haven't purchased a gun to protect our family. So if we get broken into and,
I keep that
our
thing
home gets
on
broken
me,
into and
not
we
gonna
have
lie,
no
I
protection
got like 5.
at all. But Adam put in the court order how I hired a hitman. I put a GPS device on his car. I bought a gun. I had to leave the house with Aya because Aya wasn't in the court order because he couldn't handle Aya at the time. So you're telling me that your life is in danger, your kids' lives are in danger, Zayn and Samia, but Aya's life isn't in danger. Clearly, I'm not a threat. But he had to drop that restraining order because the restraining order, like the what are they called? The sheriffs, they were looking for me every week, coming to the house, seeing if I'm there, trying to serve me with restraining order papers. And I was never there. I was living in hotel rooms with my mom and Aya. My mom was my support during that time. But then I said, you know what? I'm going back home. And if they serve me with these papers, they just serve me. And so Adam and I, we were on the same page. We said, if the police come to the door looking for me, then he'll say that I'm not there. And he said the only way he will drop the restraining order is if we sign off on the settlement based on his terms, And at the time, I was okay with that because I just wanted to be with my children. I didn't want to be in hotel hopping with a baby and my mom, So I went back to the house and one day I heard pounding on the door and Adam wasn't home. And I was like, did he set me up? Like there were 8 cops, big, huge cops pounding on my door. And I
Yo,
immediately
what?
went to a hiding place. I didn't tell my mom where I went. I didn't tell anyone where I went. I just went into that place and I just stood there. And I thought that, Adam stood me up. I even saw the light in the room where they were trying to find me. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm totally going to jail. Oh my God, like I'm so fearful. I don't know what's going to happen. And come to find out,
What?
somebody called the police and said that Adam is holding me against my will, right? So they were actually looking for me. They thought that I was dead. They thought that I was harmed because my car was there, my purse was there, but I wasn't there. And so the next day, that's when Adam decided to drop the restraining order because, dude, your life is not in danger. Like, I don't scare you. You made up this whole lie. And he dropped the restraining order.
Do you think that he was calling the police to try and tarnish your character? Or do you think he was calling the police because he was scared of you?
Yeah, that's
I
a
think
very
that
direct
he
question.
I think that he called the police to build a case against me in this whole divorce process. But I can also put myself in his shoes and say, this girl bought a gun. She put a GPS device
Yeah, I would be
on my
scared
car.
as hell too.
And,
Not gonna lie,
her
I would be
cousin is
scared.
here trying to convince me to sign off on paper. So I can totally understand
I would be
his
staying
point
at a
of view.
hotel. I'm not
What
gonna lie.
was the breaking point for you in saying, this is the day I have to pack my bags and leave?
The relationship, first of all, we were going through a divorce in the same household, and it was extremely awkward and uncomfortable for myself, for my mother, for my sister, for my children to see Adam and I at odds every single day. There was something. It was just way too toxic for us to be in the same environment. We would always argue, and he would always pick arguments with me. He would always pick at me first, and he would always do these things in front of the children, which hurt me the most because I never want the children to see their parents at odds all the time, arguing and fussing all the time.
Yo,
That's
this is
not
the
how I
bus.
want my
This is the
children to
bus.
be raised. I
And
don't
she's
want them to
throwing
be
Adam
raised in an
right here.
environment where their parents are always bickering every single day.
Throwing
So
right
I had
under
to
the
remove
bus.
myself from the situation because we were going through a divorce under the same household and he wasn't going to leave. So I had to step up and purchase a place and leave, and now I'm at peace.
How did you feel having to remove your children from their home as a result of this situation?
We believe in good we can all afford.
I feel like it was difficult because that home is our marital home. It's the family home. It's the home where the children, are growing up in. And I feel like Adam should have been the one to leave. I'm the mother of the children. It would have been easier for him to leave, but since Adam has so much pride and at the end of the day, I wanted the divorce, he thought that I should be the person to leave. And so I left. The children now are so much more comfortable. At first, it was rocky because I left before this house was even built. I was living in an Airbnb for about 6 weeks, and the children would come, and it would just be like so hard for
This is
them
getting
because
messy.
it's like, well, mommy, why are you living here? And
Comment what you
are
guys
you
think.
coming back home? And what's going on with, you and daddy? And, my kids are smart. They know, they can see. And it was hard for them to adjust to this new way of life. But they're slowly but surely getting more comfortable as time goes on.
In what ways do you feel controlled
It's a
now?
long ass Q&A.
I feel like he presented a settlement agreement that I did not accept. And because I did not accept that, he threatened to go after my businesses. You know, if you don't do this, well, I'm gonna basically take you for everything that you have. You know, he also tries to control how I parent my children. I'm a great mom. I know that. Everybody knows that. My supporters know that. My family know that. I'm a
That's
phenomenal
wild,
mother.
man. That's
And
wild.
he tries to control what I do in my household. Like the other day, he said, the kids need to be in bed at 9 o'clock. You know, Zane's eyes are flickering. You bought him this PS5 and you need to limit that time. And it's like, we live in two separate households. How I run my household is great. And how you run your household is how you run your household, you know? He knows I'm a good parent. He knows the kids are in bed by a reasonable time. On the weekend, they stay up later because it's the weekend. We're watching movies, we're having fun, we bond, we play games, you know? And I just feel like, stop trying to control what I'm doing in my household. Another part of it is, you know, I'm talking to this new guy. Adam actually messaged me a few weeks ago and he basically said to keep that gay guy, that Bati boy, away from his children. You don't control what I do in my household and how I live my life and who I'm friends with and who I'm not friends with. I don't try to control what you do in your household. The other day, I went over there to pick up my children, and you have a bunch of people at your household. I said not one thing, you know? So it's like, focus on what you have going on
Was
under
there
your
any
own
Bati
roof,
boys there
okay?
though? That's what you really gotta.
I'm a good
You gotta.
person. I would
You gotta
never
look in the
bring
crib see if there's any Bati
anybody
boys.
that would ever hurt me or my children. I only bring people around me who I trust,
that's dumb
who are
funny though.
honest, who have pure hearts, and who genuinely care about me and my children. So he would never have to worry about the people I bring around, ever. I just feel like, again, it's a control thing, trying to control me. And a lot of fans saying, oh, Latoya, you're moving too fast into this relationship. But people need to understand that I have been checked out of this marriage since 2016. Like, there has been no chemistry, no connection at all, you know? So I don't think that I'm moving too fast at all. I just feel like I'm moving at the right pace.
How do you feel about the fact that he called your bestie gay?
Oh my God! This
Whatever the
lady
day
in the
brings,
back.
Grammarly helps you
This lady in the
communicate
back.
smarter.
Why they doing this to Adam though? Like even if it's true, you're trying to end him. Like you know what I mean? You're trying to end him. I could be wrong, but has Adam tried to end her? Like has Adam said anything? Cause I would react to it too. But like the lady behind the thing is trying to end Adam.
I feel like Adam doesn't know him through a hole in the wall. You don't know what he has going on in his personal life. And I was quite upset about that because you're being judgmental on a person that you don't even know. This guy that I'm currently seeing, he has a lot of gay friends, okay? He trains a lot of gay clients, you know, and just because he's comfortable and confident in his own skin doesn't mean that he's gay. And I know for a fact that he's not. So it's just hurtful that people try to attack gay as being something that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. People have their own preferences. So I'm actually quite offended for the LGBTQ community that Adam would even say such things. And let's just say,
You see, it's like the choice of wording is like trying to get the LGBTQ community to like attack Adam. You know what I mean? And
for example,
that should have just probably
this
kept been
guy
kept.
had a gay history, you know? What does that even matter? We live in 2021. And at the end of the day, that's something that I would have to go through. And quite frankly, I would be okay with.
What are some of the requirements in the settlement that you find are excessive?
Nah, they about to talk about the
Gosh.
settlement.
So, because I didn't agree to a few of the terms in the settlement, he again threatened to go after my businesses if I didn't sign off on the proposal that he presented to my attorney. You know, everything I've built, you know, everything I've worked hard for. But I feel like Adam was my manager and I paid him as my manager, you know? Every single deal, every single campaign that we've ever worked together, he has been paid for, and we were a team. So to say that you would go after my current business, like that has absolutely nothing to do with you at all. You have your own thing going on. You're not struggling. Every other post he posts on Instagram is a brand deal. You know, he also manages our daughter Samia, you know. And so for him to threaten to go after my current business is quite odd to me because he did not put in any legwork to help me get these campaigns at all. I have a new management team. And so I was kind of fearful when he said that because things that he says does affect me because again, I was controlled for so long and when he threatens me in certain ways, I get so scared and then I want to, you know, kind of back out of what I truly want. But there's no backing down anymore. You know, I'm slowly building myself back up again. I'm slowly building up my confidence again. And I just want it to be fair. I just want this divorce to just be fair. Like everything 50-50 down the middle. Unfortunately, it's not that. I have to take less in certain areas because at the end of the day, we all know that I'm the breadwinner in my family. I can take that L, but it is quite unfair because, you know, I contributed to the household just as much as he
Did
contributed
she
to the
just
household.
call herself the
Just
breadwinner
because
of the
you pay a
household?
mortgage doesn't mean that you deserve a certain percentage of the house. Like I've paid for the kids' daycare, I paid for the kids' clothes, food, you know what I'm saying? Like activities, sports, you name it. Whatever it comes to the children and the household, like I played a part in that too. Unfortunately, I had to maneuver things around in the settlement for him to benefit, just so we can put this to an end because I just am ready to just be free of this whole mess.
How are you feeling now that you've moved out and are on your own in your own house?
Honestly, I just feel really good. You know, I'm
It's a long
on a
ass video.
spiritual journey. I'm on a self-growth journey. You know, I'm going to therapy because I've been broken down and I'm building myself back up. but I feel really good. And one of the best parts about it is we are forced to co-parent. So I get mini breaks from the children, which is good for mental health because I do struggle with anxiety. You know, I'm actually medicated. Like I have to take my anxiety medicine every single day because if I don't, then I wouldn't be able to function. So it's been great for me mentally, and so many weights have lifted off of my shoulders. I'm just waiting for this divorce to be final.
Oh shit. So Adam did say Adam.
That comes from the internet. Like
Oh, he did go live. All right. So if y'all want me to I'll react to this too. If y'all want me to react to this, smash that like button. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this video and the second part of the why did I get a divorce. Um, I just think it's crazy, man. I think it's getting real messy. I think a lot of this stuff they should have probably kept off the internet. Um, that's why I barely got into it. I really gave barely gave my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know Adam. I know Queen knows Latoya. You know what I'm saying? But I just wish them the best on the co-parenting and just the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what matters. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know y'all thoughts and opinions, and I'll see y'all next video.